sir, I want to ask one question that has to do with legacy brands and not new age brands, because as much as there is a trend for new age brands, and there always will be, new age brands are always cooler. New age brands are more relevant. They are, in the know. Gen Zs are always following the new age brands. One example, Bombay Shaving Company. A lot many that are active right now, Lenskart, Cred, so on. But coming from someone who's from a legacy brand, my brand is 75 years old. It's called Punjab Jewels. We have 5 retail stores across Madhya Pradesh. What is one thing that legacy brands should do to stay relevant? Because what happens is, I think legacy brands, when you would talk to anyone who's in Gen Z, anyone who's under the age of 30, if you would ask them, would you rather visit a retail store which is 100 years old versus one that launched 2 years ago? I would argue, this is not out of data, but I would argue they would say, I would rather go to the one that's opened just 2 years ago, which is more hip, cool. The marketing is more relevant to me. I know that, I can see the co-founder is, right there. He's making videos of himself, posting on Instagram. So when all of this is happening, how can a brand like mine, which is a legacy brand, and I'm sure a lot of us over here have legacy brands, how can we still stay relevant while still being authentic? Because that doesn't mean we want to leave our legacy behind, but how do we still stay relevant for all kinds of customers out there and compete with these Gen Z brands and their relevancy?
I think it's a very good question. And since you're talking about jewelry, in fact, a brand which we see today as a mainstay brand, 25 years ago was a startup brand, right? Tanishq, right? And Tanishq was a failure. It had failed. And in fact, the board had told Xerxes Desai, shut the division. We are in watches. We don't know jewelry. Shut the damn thing. We are losing money.
Xerxes, my friend was running the business, Tanishq. He went to the factory and he spotted some kind of a device which the factory people are putting gold jewelry in it. And so he went and asked, what is this? So they said, this is spectrophotometer. So what is it used for? It's used for detecting the caratage of the gold. So he said, how much will it cost? So they said, it'll cost about 5 lakhs. Each one machine will cost 5 lakhs. So he went back to Xerxes and said, look, Xerxes, this, our division is dead. So let me try something. I'll make this karat meter, which costs 5-10 lakhs, and I'll put it in our 10 stores, which will cost us 1 crore. And maybe it'll work, right? So the first experiment with karat, they called it karat meter. I mean, all of you are aware of karat meter, right? Yes. Aware of karat meter, right? The first experiment of karat meter, your grandfather may remember, or your father may remember, was done in Indore, right? And the ad they released was, there is a thief in your family. Who's that thief? The family jeweler, right? So before they opened the store, there was a queue outside and they said, bring your gold to our store. You don't need to buy anything. We will test your gold for you. So before the store opened, there was a queue. People walked in, gave the gold. The gold is 14 karat. This gold is 18 karat. And one woman apparently started crying, saying, this I bought from my family jeweler whom we bought for the last 20 generations, This can't be true. But in fact, the local jewelers went and told Tanishq, stop this karat meter business. It's hurting up, hurting all of us. But Tanishq continued and then it became a big phenomenon. Now, caratage, under caratage was a big problem in jewelry. It's gone. Now it's all standardized, standard caratage. The advantage with the legacy brand has is you have a captive set of consumers who come to you regularly. So the first advice I give to any legacy business, especially someone like you, do you know your customers, right? Do you know them by name? Do you know their birthday? Do you know their wedding anniversary, right? Because that is gold for you, right? You need to preserve that. You can't let them go to anyone else. At the same time, you need to see what is happening with the Gen Z. They don't need 22 karat, right? They're happy with 14 karat, but they want to keep changing the jewelry, every 3 months, right? And today I was reading about a brand which apparently is making only silver jewelry, right? And because they say, look, Gen Z doesn't want gold. They want some fancy stuff to wear, and like what you're wearing, silver, right? So, silver jewelry. So it's fine, right? So experiment. See, the problem with legacy businesses is that you are stuck in your old ways. You don't want to experiment. The advantage of a startup is they will start something today, tomorrow they'll try something else, the day after they'll try something else. All of you know Myntra, right? All of you know Myntra? You buy from Myntra. What is Myntra known for? Fashion, right? Especially women's fashion. Right? What do you think Myntra was 20 years ago, 25 years ago? It was not in fashion. My friend Sudhir Sethi had funded them, and I met them that time. And what were they doing? They said, look, give us an introduction to Tata Motors and Mahindra because we want to make cap and t-shirts for companies. That was their business. Making caps, t-shirts for big companies with their logo on it, right? Look at how they changed. So they understood how to make garments. And they said, look, this is low margin business. These Tata and Mahindra will very twist our arms. Let's go direct to consumers. Let's do something else. And they got into fashion. So young companies make these changes. Old companies say, no, 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 no. Grandfather will not allow this. Chacha will say this. Mama will say that. But you have to say, no, I have to try something. I have to try online. I'm going to create a website. I'm going to sell jewelry online. If it doesn't work, I'll shut the website down. If some chori happens, it happens. I'll take insurance. But I'll try things. Legacy businesses have to learn to try and fail and not get too worried if you fail. If you fail, take it. You fail. Try again. Right? Yeah.
Very valid, sir. So we'll just do a couple of rapid fire questions, and then we'll close. What is one marketing myth that needs to die?
There are many marketing myths that need to die, right? So let me think of a few. One marketing myth which all of us believe in is that every ad we do has to be that sparkling creative. Need not be, right? Ads have to deliver. And as David Ogilvy said, it's not creative if it doesn't bring sales. So you measure your business by whether your advertising delivers sales. That's one big marketing myth, that every ad should be ha 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 ha, very funny, etc. I worked on a brand called Santoor. How many of you have heard of this brand, soap brand called Santoor, right? Okay, all of you heard. I'm surprised all of you heard it, so I'll tell you why. Okay. I started working on Santoor in 1994, right? When Santoor was not even 1/10 of Lux. Lux, all of you know, big Unilever brand. It was not even 1/10 of Lux. What do you think is the size of Santoor compared to Lux today? It's bigger than Lux. It overtook Lux 3 years ago, right? But what is the advertising of Santoor? It is the same ad, right? Some woman is going somewhere. Someone says, look, she looks so young. She must be in some college. And a little kid comes and says, Mummy. Very cliche, right? But the damn ad works. I mean, in my tenure, over 18 years working on Santoor, I must have made 20 versions of that ad. She's a housewife. She's in a wedding. She's a musician playing a flute. She's a photographer. She's an aerobics instructor. She's a pilot. That Santoor woman has done everything, right? And she's done everything depending on how the Indian woman has progressed, right? And the advertising has worked. And I think it will continue to work for 20 more years or 30 more years, right? As long as Indian woman, and it's based on a big insight. What is the insight of Santoor? What is that insight? Every Indian woman wants to be mistaken for someone younger, right? Especially when you get married and you have a child, the process of having a baby ages you by 5 years. So when someone comes and says, "Oh, you're in a college," and he says, and the mummy comes, yeah. So it's a kind of a multiple thing. I look so young, but I'm a mom. Again, being a mom in Indian society is a big badge of honor, right? And being mistaken for someone very young is something I'm very happy with, right? So the mistaken thing is every ad has to win some award. Every ad has to be laughable. No need. You're on good strategy. Your advertising works. You can keep plugging it for years to come.
So, sir, just a few more questions, but we want one.
You said last question.
No, it was rapid fire questions. I just 3-4 more, but yeah, you need to give one word answers. So, what is the most overrated buzzword in marketing right now?
AI.
One Indian brand you think it's outdoing marketing today?
Amul.
What is a marketing campaign you wish you had created? Like a marketing campaign that did well, but you wish you would have created that.
I love that, that Dream 11 campaign, I think, which had all the cricketers and the film and the celebrities, and it was directed by Nitish Tiwari, who started his career with us as a copy trainee. It was amazingly well written. It's so funny, with this Amir Khan making fun of, Ranveer Singh, and brilliant. I think Nitish probably wrote it, but brilliant. I wish I had done that. Yeah. I wish I had a client like Dream 11 who can spend that kind of money. I never had a client who could spend that kind of money. They must have spent 5 crores on that film, plus what they paid the celebrities, 5 crores each. So probably 100 crores went on that film. That's good money, right? I never had those kind of clients. Yeah.
One quality that makes someone a world-class marketer.
Keep learning. Keep learning. Things are changing. You got to keep learning because the consumer is changing, So keep learning.
A brand that reinvented itself brilliantly.
But I would say probably Tatas are going through a great reinvention now. We will know in 5 years, 10 years time. I think what Chandra has done is amazing. All the legacy business and getting into new businesses. I think we'll see the results in 10 years time. Yeah.
So one last question, sir. One line that you want to leave us all with today, other than all the insights that you shared with us, but one more line if you could leave us with today.
I think my previous speaker said this. My books are available at the bookshop. Buy all of them. Enjoy. And those of you young people here, I'm not, feeding you gas. This is a very simple introduction to marketing. And you can finish it in less than 2 hours. And it'll give you basic knowledge of marketing. So go and buy the book and enjoy. And thank you very much once again for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much.